Hey guys, it's Chris from the Ultimate Recycler and Christine from Christine's Home Affairs. This is a different video than normal. If you're a new subscriber or a new viewer, this is nothing about recycling. We're at the airport. We're at Melbourne Airport. We're about to head off to Tasmania, which is kind of overseas, isn't it?
Yeah.
Almost an international flight. We're off for the Table Tennis Nationals, which many of you regulars do know. We've started our day pretty well. We've just got to the little depot where the bus picks us up from to take us to the terminal. We spent, 15 minutes getting lost, driving around the car park. Then we eventually discovered the best way to get a park is to stalk people who are carrying suitcases, and they led us to a car that left. And
very close too.
Yeah. So anyway, we're going to start this adventure here. I'll do a few videos of our trip to Tassie. Christine will do some on her channel. If you're not interested, just go back and look at some of our playlists about recycling and sewing. Yeah?
Don't unsubscribe.
All right, we'll be on the plane soon. We've got a little while, so we'll wait for a bus, get something to eat, and then hop on the plane. Okay, we made it into the terminal and we've found our departure lounge. We've got about 10 minutes before we board the plane, so I'm just having a bit of a look around and making sure they all know how to take off and land. But yeah, we did find a bit of a challenge to get through the check-in area where you had to have all your bags scanned and everything. I think I've only been on 2 flights in the last 40 years. So we certainly look like the lost country people, and we had some help from a few of the staff. Had to put everything through the X-ray and all that sort of stuff. And it's only a domestic flight, but we got through it okay, and had another coffee, so we're ready to hit the air very shortly. Hopefully the pilot knows what he's doing. Interestingly, I went through the X-ray and I said to the guy, did it show up my new hip? Because I had a hip replacement about 10 years ago and it's a titanium spike. And he said, go and see a surgeon, get your money back. You were ripped off. He must, at least he had a good sense of humour, because I'm pretty sure I've got a new hip. So anyway, I'm not sure I'll be able to film on the plane or anything like that. We'll see how we go. Otherwise, we'll see you in Tasmania. And here we go on the plane. I was able to film at the window, but I'm doing a voiceover because it was too noisy to talk there. So we're on the runway, we're just building up speed, throws you back in the seats. I always enjoy that feeling of power. And it amazes me how much the wings flex and the thing bounces around, and we lift off very steeply. It's incredible. Now this is 3 times the speed, so we weren't that quick taking off. And I'm just showing a bit of footage of us climbing over the northern parts of Melbourne. You don't actually see much of the city from this direction. And the conditions were fairly smoggy, especially once we got over Tasmania, or the water over Bass Strait. So I didn't film much over there. But this is now our descent as we're slowly coming down through the clouds. And then we break out into blue sky eventually, I think. And we can see the rugged terrain of Tasmania, very mountainous, most of it. In fact, this area is probably as flat as it gets. So this is our final stages of the approach into Launceston, and again we're still 3 times the speed, so you can see the things the wings jumping up and down a bit. You see the flaps move, and as we get lower and lower I drop back to normal speed. But I quite enjoyed the flight. It's only the takeoffs and the landings that freak me out a bit. So we're back to normal speed now, gradually coming down. The descent seems to take forever actually, so getting closer now. Here's the tarmac coming up. Bit of a bump as we land. I nearly actually dropped the phone there. Bit of a cheer from the people on board, which is always nice to hear. And then the reverse thrust thing to slow you right up as quick as they can. Perhaps it's a shorter runway in Launceston, I'm not sure, but he put the reverse thrust on pretty quickly, and we slowed up for a pretty safe and happy landing, really. Well, we touched down okay. It was a bit bumpy as you saw, but we made it all right. It was only about an hour's flight and pretty uneventful otherwise. It's bloody freezing down here. We had to put our jackets on. It was blowing a gale because we had to just walk down steps at the back of the plane, and it was cold out on the tarmac. So now we're just waiting here for our luggage to turn up, and Christine's just checking the details. Say hi.
Hello.
Of the hire car. So we'll be right to take off. We're staying in a place about half an hour from here. Just looking at this luggage thing though, I should get one of these for the emergency storage shed. You reckon?
You'd fill it up in no time.
No, so I can bring stuff out to me and I can do one box at a time. All right, we better go and check out the hire car. Okay, we managed to pick up the hire car okay, and we've made it to our destination. There's Christine over in front of that nice old historic building, which is where we're staying tonight, out the back. We'll take you there in a minute, but I've just noticed down the street there's a Steam World place. Tractors and agri-machinery open daily 10 until 3. Yeah, might be worth a look through there. It looks rather interesting. But yeah, it's quite chilly here. The sun's just gone down. It's, well, heading down. The light is rapidly fading. And yeah, we're pretty happy we've made it here safely, of course, and going to enjoy our stay. We hired a little MG, which is a very similar model to the one we just recently purchased, so that's kind of cool. I'm used to the indicators being on the wrong side of the steering wheel. And we're going to really enjoy our trip. We've got a few days travelling around before the tournament starts, and we're going to head over to the west coast of Tassie, way over there somewhere, and see a part of Tasmania we've never seen before. So at the moment we're in a little town called Westbury, which is not far from Deloraine. I think that's the nearest major town, and we'll duck in there and find something to eat shortly. Come with me and I'll show you our room we've got. So we drove down through the gates here, which I think was actually the exit road. We were supposed to take the driveway over that side, but hey, it's not a busy road. Looks like they've got an area in there for dining, and I do think they have wedding receptions and things here, so it's obviously quite a popular place. We're in room 2, as I said, which is Cora's room, and we thought down the back there may have been rooms 1 and 2, you know, budget accommodation, but no, we've done a bit better than the stables. Here's our little MG we've got. Drives quite nicely, and Christine was careful to take photos of all the panels and note all the little scratches and dents so that we didn't stand accused of putting any of them on there. So here's a nice little walkway here, and we were number 2, were we?
Yes, it's Cora's room.
Cora's room, yep. So I guess this is not part of the main building, but it is quite a historic little outbuilding, and really cute, very nicely done up, not overly large, lining boards in the ceiling. So just a bedroom and a bathroom toilet from here. So very good, great choice of somewhere to stay.
Yes.
Well, good morning guys. We had some very comfortable accommodation last night. It was nice and warm and very well appointed, so I'd strongly recommend, if you're in this part of Tasmania, to check out the Fitzpatrick's Inn, which is behind me. And I was reading a bit of the history last night. It actually dates back to Georgian times, so I think 1830s, and being an inn, it was a hotel. It hasn't been for many, many decades, and it's quite interesting reading the history of the place, which is one of the reasons we like travelling and staying in old places. So today we can't do the Steam Museum across the road because it doesn't open till 10. So we're going to hit the road. We've got 2 or 3 hours drive, actually at least 3 I think today, to get to Queenstown. For those of you that know Tasmania, we're heading past Lake St Clair. We might stop and do a bit of a walk, check the waterfalls. The problem is they're forecasting temperatures of only about 6 and lots of rain, so might not be the best day for touring around. But anyway, we're going to see the sights. I'll take you guys with me each day. I might not get a video out each day, but I hope you enjoy the tours of Tasmania. For those of you that have come along looking for recycling content, we'll get back to that soon. We're only here for 10 days, but I thought I'd do a bit of a playlist on our adventures, and some of you might like to come along. So we'll finish up this episode. I'll start another one later today, depending on what the weather's doing. And I think Christine's going to film some for her channel as well. We do have to find an op shop today. We wanted to get some nice coffee cups, because the ones you get in accommodation are those awfully thick, chunky, hotel issue wide coffee cups where the coffee goes cold the moment you look at it. Don't like them at all. And I also need to buy a bigger jacket, so we'll be buying a few things like that we'll probably redonate once we've finished over here, because we can't get everything in our bags to go back home on the plane. So I think, yes, that's recycling, isn't it? Buying from op shops what you need and then redonating it when you finished your trip. Much easier than trying to pack everything on the way. All right, thanks for watching. Catch you in the next one. Bye for now.